Daniel?
Hello.
Yes, Daniel. How are you today?
I'm fine.
Really? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Are you happy in life?
Happy is a defined question, but I'm okay.
Okay. Okay. I wish you happiness. So, hmm, I believe if you have a successful career, I believe that will be part of your happiness. But let us see. Of course, everybody have his own perspective of happiness. Okay. Was it a difficult homework?
No, the homework I can tell it's quite simple actually.
That's interesting. Okay. May you share with me, please? What did you get out from that? What did you learn from that homework so far?
Should I share the screen?
Yes,
Or
please, if you don't mind. Yes. So while you are sharing your screen, because it takes time, so just tell me first, how was it? And so there was three exercises. Am I right?
yeah, share exercise.
Okay. So yeah, the first one.
So the first one is that you tell me what is the purpose of the variable valid gender,
Mhm.
right?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
And why we use the what's it called?
Not
Mm, not
operator. Operator.
no
Yes.
operator. So the purpose of the variable is to what's it called? Um, to call the not the process.
Okay. This variable
To
is an integer or a string or a character or a boolean.
boolean.
Okay, that's excellent. Okay, so when the while loop will continue running, when the valid gender is true or when it is false.
It was the question. I kind of lost it.
Okay, so valid gender is a boolean. I would like to know. Uh, we have a while loop, so the while loop operates while there is certain condition. Okay, so the one that is representing the condition is actually a valid gender variable itself. So when the valid gender, when the while loop will keep continue running, when the valid gender is true or when it is false.
When the valid gender is false.
So we will
It,
keep running while it is
yeah,
false.
okay. Yeah, kill running was it false? Yeah.
And once it turn to true, we will stop.
Yeah. Uh yes. Because
Okay.
at first if you see my screen, I call a valid gender boolean a false, and then the not operator is to like reverse the calling to true. Right. From
Okay, that's excellent. So, okay, did you remember your previous code when you showed to me that we are able to use a condition here and you used that condition? Actually, it is not, I mean, it's not wrong, but an optimal solution would be something like that so that you don't have to put a big while. So what prevent us from putting a big condition like that inside the while here? Uh, Readability. So the readability of the code become not good. So we want the code simple for us to read it and for others also to understand our code. Okay. So what you did before is not wrong. When you put that condition, if you can remember, can you remember when you put that condition here?
yeah.
Okay. So that was not wrong at all. So you can actually put that whole condition here in the while. But the point here, again, like I told you, is readability. Now, let me talk also about something else. We call this kind of variables, and this applies to every language, a flag variable. So we call this a flag, this kind of variable that are able to control our while loops, and it will control parts of our code. We call it flag. Do you use a lot of flag variables inside your code? I would say you have to learn to use flag variables. Flag variables actually make your code somehow well organized. Even if you have maybe tens of flag variables, it's okay. As long as you really optimize their usage, then it is fine. So you should always try to build your loops, especially the while loop, based on flag variables like that. Okay? So here you control the flag variable, and you control it's either true or false. So if it satisfies certain condition, it will become true. That will off the while loop. So and again, we are able to use flag variables in many ways. Okay.
All right.
So far, is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, we go to the next, please. Okay, so I understand that you will not be able to fully understand this code yet. Maybe after the end of this class, you will start to somehow get an idea. And maybe in the next two classes, that understanding will improve. But I understand that you will face difficulty to actually differentiate between this int and this integer. Am I right?
Yeah.
You still find it hard to understand, right?
Yeah, I still find it to understand, even though I read the slides, try to understand the slides and everything.
I understand. It's okay. It's totally fine, because we did not yet explain into details. So this is not a normal integer like that. This is what we call integer class. And this integer class, I mean, classes in general, we didn't talk about it. So classes is part of OOP, and this is one of the difficult topics that always face programmers. So that is many programmers actually object the move or the complexity of OOP at the start. Okay, so it is clear why you find that why we need to complicate ourselves with this kind of thing. Okay.
Okay.
So okay, just let me just share with you here that this integer that you created, this kind of data type, is not a simple data type. This is a complex data type. The int and the double is a simple data type. Okay. Here, actually, you are using a complex integer data type that give you a lot of options. Like you are able to use a class. Sorry, you are able to call a method on top of this variable. And you are not able, if you have this A, you are not able to call method or use methods on this. Okay. So this is the only point here.
But when I call it, it print the same value, right? 100 and 100 for the X and the A.
So it is true that when you call it, it will print the same content, which is this 100. Okay, this is true. So we are able even to exchange values between the X and the A. And yeah, so at the end, you are able here to store 100, which is the same. I mean, A and X have the same storage ability. So the difference is not only that that they have similar abilities to store integers or not. So at the end, what you did here, you get the content of X, which is 100 in this case, and you store it inside the normal integer, which is the basic type. Okay, and then you print it out here, right? And both of them print the same. Am I right? Or am I right?
Right.
Yes. Okay. So the thing is, my question is, if you tried can you try to use A here and put a dot after the A?
There.
Yes. So, okay, this kind of expression comes to you, or methods that you are able to use. Now, I want you to put the same dot behind the X. Yes. So all these variables, so again, go back so that you are able to see. You have to remove the dot and put it again, please. Okay, so don't move. I just want to tell you, so this is one of the methods that you already use here. And there is a lot of methods that you are able to use with that specific integer. These kind of methods, you don't have it with a normal integer. So they wanted to say that they wanted to make your life easier somehow, okay, by giving you, how to say, methods that can improve your coding. So one of them, okay, one of them is that you have the function that is compared to, and you have the function that's called equal, which is those function was only available to the string data types. You also have toString. So this toString will actually convert this. So this X is an integer. It is not a string. It is just an integer. You are able to make mathematical operation or arithmetic operation on it. But you are able to convert that to toString. Okay, now I would like to ask you, can you create for me a string variable here? Yes, move here, here. Make a string variable that's called S. Okay, and try to put inside it, no, you put equal and try to put A inside it, like that. And then try to run your code. So your code will have an error, am I right? Because
Yeah.
we can see that here. So why? Why you are having an error? Okay, so the required type is string, but what you provided is int. So it means that a string like that can only have a string stored in it. If you try to store an integer inside a string, he will refuse. He will not allow you. It's a totally different data type. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Now I want you go back, just remove. Yep. Okay. Now, do you see this A? So this is the basic integer. Okay. Now I want you to put X instead. Instead of A, instead of this A, put X. No, 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 not here, not here, not here. Here, here, here. Put back. Yes. So here, you said S equal A, right? So I want you to put S equal X. Okay. And still showing an error, am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you put the dot, please? Dot here, here, dot. Yes. Okay. Now choose toString. Okay. Can you try to run? Do you see an error here?
Yeah.
You don't see any errors, right? So this toString, you are not able to use it with A. A is a basic integer data type that is not equipped with methods, assistants, or helper methods to help in the operation. Okay, so A does not have this capability. X is a complex integer that have a lot of supportive or helper method. Okay, I understand that you still not able to grab that very well, but what we take as a summary, we just take it as it is at the moment, that X is different from A, that we have a lot of helper methods that is we are able to call using this X here. So we are able to call init value, we are able to call toString, okay? And that's it for the moment. Okay, is that fine so far? Did you understand this little information? Did we manage to grab 40 or 50%?
Yeah.
Okay, that is enough for me. Can we move to the next exercise, please? Okay, excellent. Okay, now, I mean, I am smart enough not to question you why you divide this, but I'm not aware why you need to use a modulus here.
It says that the requirement to model is 500 milliseconds after calculating the minutes, right?
Yes, but okay, so once you divide, you will get the number of minutes, right?
Yeah, once I divide, and then modulus is that we take out the remainder, right? So
Yes,
when
true.
I divided total seconds that the user input, so it counts as the second, then it counts the remainder of the seconds.
Okay, so you divided the total seconds. Okay, okay, no problem. But let me share something with you, please. I would like you to tell me how we are able to use that here. So, okay, now you see my screen. Am I right? So you can't see my screen? Can you? Daniel? Hello?
Hello?
Not yet. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's in my screen right now.
So can you off your screen?
Okay, now I can see.
Okay, that's good. Okay. I want to ask you first. Did you ever hear about this function?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so this function actually it is very popular and it have many usages. So, and we are able to use it to get the number of milliseconds that have been elapsed since January 1, 1970. Okay, so so this is the number of milliseconds. So how many seconds in the millisecond? Any idea?
How many seconds? 60?
Sorry, I apologize. How? I sorry. 1 second. How equal? How many milliseconds? I apologize. Sorry.
1 second, how many milliseconds? 1000?
Yes, excellent, excellent. Okay, so this is 1,000 millisecond. Okay, so if we want to, if, I mean, if this function get us the number of milliseconds that elapsed since 1970, January 1, 1970. So if we store that in a long, because that is a big number, and then we divide that by 1,000, will that give us the seconds that is elapsed from 1970? I need to say again, or is it confusing?
Yeah, we get this millisecond, we'll get the seconds from the milliseconds, right?
Okay, clear, right?
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, do you see that we created a function here?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, may I know why do we need, what is the importance of actually creating functions for I mean, for parts of our code? Any idea what could be the benefit?
Create a function so that we don't get confused. We can call the function to the main code. So
Okay,
we don't
excellent.
have so we don't have to write like all of the coding inside the main code. So it won't be confusing when the programmer wants to look at the code later.
Okay,
Yeah.
actually, that is a good. Yeah, what you said is actually good and correct. But there is also other strong benefits, which means that the usability, reusability of your code. So it means that when you create such a function, and you are actually able to copy that code or make a library that make use of that function. So it means that if you have different projects, you're actually able to make use of that function many times, not only in one piece of code. Okay, and it also give your code, it makes your code organized. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. Okay, can we have a look here? Do you see what that we are calling the function here?
Okay. Can you repeat that?
Yes, I can repeat. So in this if statement, I am calling the function here. Although
Okay.
this is not a traditional way, maybe not so clear on how we use it. So, but at the end, we are calling this function. So we call it and it returns something to us. And so it will return the seconds, the number of seconds that elapsed from January 1, 1970. And then we subtract that return that is returned to us. We subtract it, we subtract here session start time, and then we make a comparison. So may you please try to guess what this kind of condition is trying to do?
They are trying to minus the start time and then compare it that is bigger than the session timeout.
So session timeout, possibly it is 30 seconds. So there is no trick here. This session timeout, it could be just an integer variable that have 30 stored inside it. So we are trying to actually do some comparison. And by this comparison, we would like to know if the left side is bigger than, sorry, yeah, the left side is bigger than the right side. So the right side has the session timeout. So it means that if this part is proven that it is bigger than the session timeout, we will execute that line. We will print session expired. And if this is actually less than the session timeout, so we will say we will print out session is still active. Any idea? Did you understand anything about the code here?
So what I understand is that if the session when we get the calculation, the get calculation is more than the session timeout, it says that the session expired. But if it does not exceed the session timeout, then the session is still active, right?
Okay, yep.
That's right.
Yeah, that is yeah, little bit basic understanding, which is okay. Yeah, that's great. May I ask you please, can you please write this function here? So this,
Start a new code or
yep, you can start the new code, yes.
It's the if statement inside the function.
Can you repeat it again, please? Sorry.
If is the if statement inside the function?
No, the if statement is not inside the function. So this is a complete function. The if statement, this part of this code actually should be inside the main. So this function should be outside the main as usual, as we know now, right? So it's not part of this. So this if statement is not part of the code here. So this method only have 2 lines.
All right.
Any problem so far? Daniel, any problem?
No, just finishing up the code.
Okay. So after you create this method or function, I would like you to call it, and you tell me what is the output from that calling.
What's the question again?
So I want you to call that function and tell me when you call it, what does it return to you?
Does the session expired?
No, it will not give you session expired. Will it?
If you say that it will give an error.
No. What I mean, did you write? Are you writing that code?
Yeah, I'm
did you?
writing the code.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because at first, the variable of session start time and session timeout is not being initialized.
Yes. So how did you? What did you put here in this session start time?
I put the session start time 60 and session timeout around 120.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, okay, you can try that. So where are you now? I mean, did you finish the code?
Yeah, I finished the code.
Okay, then share it with me, please. So, okay. When you fix, let me see here. Session expired, but you didn't assign any value yet. Am I right?
Yeah, I delete the initial value.
Okay. So can you please put your the one that you told me you wanted to put here 60 and you put here 30, right?
Yeah, the
Okay.
session time I'll put around 120.
Okay, fine. Now run. Session expired. Okay. But my interest to actually was that you try to get this, call it, and put it in a print statement. Can you please? I mean, here, before the if statement. Okay, that is great, but I would recommend that you use plus, please.
Don't mess with the
Okay, try to run. So did you see this number? This is the seconds that have elapsed from 1970, January 1, 1970 until now. So also using that, you are able to calculate the number of days, number of years, number of months, a lot of things. Is that clear so far?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, that's good. And I would tell you that if we want to actually know an accurate um, or to actually use the code below, can you go below, please? Can you go down here? Down, down. Yep. So if we want to use this kind of code in an accurate manner, we supposed to put here in this session start time, we should call this. We should remove the 60. We copy that part here. But it will show you an error because that session time start time, you put it as an integer, and this get me long. So that is okay. So long reserve a bigger place in the memory than the int. So if you put a long inside an int, actually some of the numbers that is coming back from here, which is seconds, will be deleted. So you need to change the data type from integer to long. Confusing to you?
No.
Okay, now you can run. What do you see here?
And the session selected.
Interesting. May I know, please? So when you call, let me see. So can you try to subtract this from here? So if you go to the if statement, you are actually subtracting this from this. So I would like you to print that to know why this if statement now is giving us a different output. Okay, so I would say you need to put this in brackets so that he execute that first. After this, he will add them to the print. Okay, now print, please. Yeah, you need another bracket. Okay, that's good. Now run.
0.
So 0. Any idea why the first line print something and the second line only print 0?
Because it's minus the session start time, because the session start time is the same as the get second, it's the same as the function get second since 1970.
Interesting. So any idea how we can make that somehow have a different meaning? How we can make that subtraction give us a number, not 0?
So I have to change the session start time number, right?
Okay, but let me just tell you here. So what we need to do, we're trying to simulate something in the reality. So I would say use this method thread dot sleep and put something like 6,000 inside it. So this is a line that I would like you to insert here before the print statement.
What does thread dot sleep do actually?
Again, sorry, again.
What does thread dot sleep do?
So yes, excellent question. So this will actually cause. So this sleep, it takes actually 6,000 millisecond. So it means that it will sleep in its place for 6 seconds. It means that it will stop executing the code for 6 seconds while it is on this line. And then after 6 seconds, it will continue executing the remaining of the code. Can you please try to run it and see if it really runs without an error? Because sometimes these libraries need external imports. Let's try to run.
I think sense error here.
Okay. Let me just try to run and see. Okay, unsupported exceptions must be declared or thrown. Okay. Okay, I would tell you actually what you need to do. It is true. Yeah, this is slightly complicated, but never mind. Let me get you how this should look like. So allow me to share with you, please, the code that you need to include, or I copy it to your WhatsApp. Okay. So open the pictures that I sent to you on the WhatsApp.
Okay.
Okay. So inside the picture, you will see that we are using try like that. Did you ever read or understand anything about exceptions?
Exception. I don't think I haven't, but I think I've seen in the code somewhere along the line.
Okay. So this catch is like that. So typically, so there is certain parts of code, and I mean that when we run it, we need to include it in a try and catch. How to say? template. So this try and catch, if we are running a dangerous code, we need to put our code inside. And one of these dangerous code is the thread sleep. Okay, so we should include this thread sleep between try and catch. So if this thread sleep causes an error, our code will not have an exception like that. It will just print whatever we put for it here. So what we need to put here, so this catch will actually catch the interrupted exception, which is written to you in the image, and it will take E as a input, and then we are able actually to print the E, or even do this print stack trace. So to be able to, an exception is an error, and for you to be able to know what is the detail of the error, you need to print something that caused the error. So you will use the input which was E to say E.print stack trace. It's not at the moment our level yet to discuss more details about it, but what I want to tell you that I need you to actually include this piece of code, which is thread sleep, inside the try and catch, same like the image. That is what I want you to do. Can you do that, or it's too complicated?
Where should I put the try and catch?
Before and after this the thread. So this line should go inside here. Yes, correct. Okay, space E. So even here, you can just put a print statement also is acceptable. You leave it empty also is acceptable as a start. Okay, can you try to run and see? Did we manage to run?
Yeah.
Okay, so your code halted for a while, and then it give us, so your code, it comes here, it sleep for 6 seconds, and then it give you this 6 as a result. So can you tell me this 6 is a result of what?
It's the result of
This subtraction, am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, did you understand why it gave us 6?
Not exactly, not exactly. I don't understand right.
No, can you let me can you repeat again, so you don't understand it?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Okay, can you change the sleep here to 3,000? Okay, can you run please and see what is the output? 1, 2, 3. Okay, what is that? Any idea how we can relate this 3 to this 3,000?
Yeah, so every time it counts the thread sleep, right? In
Okay.
the
Let me. Okay. What about if you try to remove? Okay, no. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah. Can you make another print statement? But I want you only to print this session start time. I want you to print it out here. Yes, that's great. Yes, run, please. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I would like you to see this number and this number. Do you see anything common here?
Yeah, only the first, only the last three numbers is different.
Okay, so okay, uh, let me again explain this code. This code is telling when you print that. So okay, no, let me translate this also in another way. Our code execution is very fast, that it execute in less than 1 second. Okay, it's actually less than even 1 millisecond. So this code, because the computer is very fast, so this code is executed very fast. So if you don't put a sleep, always when you subtract these two, it will give you 0. So what I want to say that to be able to mark the time needed to execute, mark this line and go up here, go up again, please.
Mark line.
I mean this line. I mean. So let us mark that line, okay, and go up. Okay. So here we are marking the start of our code. This give us a number of milliseconds or number of seconds that is that elapsed from 1970. Okay. So this 1970 as a number does not really matter to us. So okay, if I tell you from January 1, maybe just let me give you an example that, okay, maybe there is 10,000 seconds that happened since that time until the moment. And then I tell you now, let us talk together for 3 seconds. And then after that, I would like you to actually measure the time of seconds that all again occurred since January 1970. So here we talked for 3 seconds. So when you try again to see it, you will start to find that this number does not retain the same value, because so this number, if you even keep that number, if you copy that and you put it // here and you copy that count, this count is ever increasing, because we know that the time is moving on, the time is not going back. Am I right?
Yeah.
So from 1970 until 2024, and now we are in October, right? And we are on October 10 at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the time now is actually 5 and 2 minutes. Am I right? 5 p.m. 2 minutes. So after
Yeah.
1 minute, it will become 5 p.m. and 3 minutes. So the time is increasing. So it means that when we are measuring the difference between these two dates, means that the number of seconds is always increasing. So it means that this number will always increase, because again the time is moving forward. It's not going backward anymore. So it means that this time you will never have it again, because there is time that is happening at the moment. The time is moving forward. It's not going backward, and it's not it's staying. It is moving, and the clock keep moving forward. So it means that when a minute pass on, that will be translated to 60 seconds, and another 2 minutes pass on, they translate to 120 seconds. So it means that again the time will keep increasing. This value that returns the second that occurred from here will keep always increasing. So does this make sense to in what I'm explaining to you?
Yeah, makes sense. So that means that uh the time from the here always be increasing, right, from time to time.
Yes. So when we are talking now, this time, if we measure it again, you will find that if we run again, you'll find that this number is higher. The current number will be higher than this. So if you copy it here and you put it as a maybe as a comment so that you can compare the current numbers that will appear again to you, so you will notice the difference. As the time passed by, this number increased. So what I want to say that this is a way, this kind of a method that we created is a way to measure how many seconds passed from since you marked your start until you start to call this function again. So that's why you see a difference here, 3. And this 3 is 3 seconds. Why this 3 seconds happen? Just because you said sleep. In this piece of code, it will execute in 3 seconds. Why I say 3 seconds? Because here I put 3000. This time is actually, this method takes in milliseconds. So if I pass it 3000, so 1 second we said equal 1000 millisecond. And 3 seconds means that is 3 times 1000, which is equal 3000. So this code will keep the computer busy on this line for 3 seconds. If it do so, so the time that I marked it before, I saved the number of seconds that occurred 3 seconds before. So when you try to subtract again in the print statement, you will find that 3 seconds already passed. So you are able to mark that here. So also this is a way to see how fast your code is executing. So if I put here 10 seconds, it means that this code, this part of code will take 10 seconds to execute. And if I subtract again, if I measure the number of seconds that happened is already occurred now, and I subtract it from here, it will give me 10. Is it complicated? If it is complicated, then I would recommend that I do not explain it anymore, but you just try to listen to the video. I know that this is a new concept. Okay, listen to the video, then we discuss more about it in the next class. But first,
No, I actually understand it very well.
okay,
Yeah,
okay, really, it's clear.
yeah, it's clear.
Okay, so are we able to move out from here?
Yeah, we're able to move out.
Did you understand why we need to write that code? And
Which code? The try catch code or
no, not the try and catch, the if statement.
the if statement? Yeah.
So, okay, now just let me give you an example. So you are building a website using PHP, am I right?
Yeah.
So sometimes in certain condition, you have a person logged into the system, and you want to continuously see if you should log out that user or not, or should you keep him logged in or not. So you should do that based on what? So you should base on when did he start to log in. So when he log in, then you call that method. So it will give you the number of seconds from 1970. And we know that the time is always increasing. So if he spend more time on your website, you're able to use that piece of code to know how long did he spend. And the time he spent, maybe does it match session timeout or not? Okay, so that's what I'm trying to tell you. So this is one of the ways that we can use this kind of function calling. There is other ways, actually very important things to do. So sometimes we want to, we have two pieces of code, and we want to know which piece of code execute more faster than the other. So we can only measure that using this way. So you subtract before you start running the piece of code. So if imagine that you have code 1 and you have here like code 2, and then you mark your start and you save the number of milliseconds and you mark your start here, and then you mark your end. So, and you want to know how many milliseconds this code take to execute, and then you also mark your end here and you subtract the end from the start from the end, and then you know how many milliseconds this kind of code take to execute. We are not advanced enough at the moment in what we took so far to be able to run this kind of code testing. But at the end, you as a programmer, you should be able to say, if somebody tell you your code is slow, so you want to prove to him your code is slow or not. So you put your code in this kind of simple subtraction, and then you can prove. Not, it's not, I mean, this is a proof, this is a reality. This is how you have a solid proof that your code execute in how many milliseconds. Did you understand me, or I'm complicating the matters to you?
I understand.
50%, 60%?
I think 60%.
Okay. Okay, that's fair enough. Can you please off sharing? Okay, I would so I would like today to talk to you about a new concept, because I have been delaying that so far. I see no reason to keep delaying it. I want to talk to you about classes. So this is, again, like, we know that this is a difficult topic. We cannot finish it in one class. We have to keep talking about it until you really start to grab it. So a class is a complex data type that carry many variables inside it. So in classes, we are trying to actually replicate the real world in programming. So if you imagine that you are writing a code to deal with students, so your education website should deal with students and teacher, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so there is many information that you can store about students. So how many variables that you need to keep to be able to simulate a student behavior? So the student have a name, and maybe you have 100 students, and so you need to have, so a name is a string. Is a string variable, right? And the student have an age, and he have marks. So the age may be 20, so it's an integer. So the marks also can be double, because it can be a decimal value, like maybe 90.5, something like that. So there is also other details about the student that you can save, and also about the teacher. So there might be also something about subjects that he's studying, and something about maybe the school name, and what else? And maybe some, so school name can be a string, subjects can be also a string. What else? What else we can save about a student? Is he graduated or not? So this can be a Boolean, true or false. So all this is variables. Imagine if you have 1,000 students. Are you capable as a programmer to actually create how many variables here? 1, 2, let me write in a different color. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. If you have 1,000 students, you need to create 6,000 variable? Is that logic? Do you have the space and the time to write 6,000 variables to deal with different students, or to record on your system 6,000 students? Of course, that is huge issue. So it means that your maximum maybe is to create 10 students for your system that you are building, or your website that you're building for education. Maybe this is your maximum, just to create 10 students, and for every student you need to create 6 variables, so that is total 60. It's still a lot, but it's manageable. But if you talk about more, that will make your code messy and will consume a lot of time for you, and there is a lot of space for errors, and you will get confused between the name of the first student and the name of the second student, and so on until 60. So you have to mark your variables and give them different names, and that will start to be confusing. Do you understand the problem that we're talking about here, or no? Or you still didn't get what I mean?
I haven't.
Problem? You have a problem in understanding what I'm saying, right? It's not easy.
It's not
Okay.
easy.
Okay, that's totally understandable, and it's your right to feel confused. So I would say, can you see here? I have a character, a graphic character that I want to represent in the screen. So I would like to point out the position of the character that I want to print on the screen. So this is my screen, my computer screen, and this is a character. So a character can be, let me see, maybe Tom and Jerry. You know Tom and Jerry, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to print Tom in a place in my screen. Okay, so I'm deciding, maybe it doesn't matter, but here we have X and Y. So that X and Y decide which area in the screen, because this is X and Y coordinate. Am I right? I mean, is that logic to you so far, what I'm talking about, or is confusing also here? That you would like to decide which area in the screen that you want to show the character. So you need to somehow say, okay, we move X maybe 10 centimeter or 10 pixels. Of course, the screen is measured in pixels. Do you know what I mean, pixel?
Yeah.
Okay, so how many pixels to the right, how many pixels to the bottom, maybe just to show exactly, are we going to show the character in this area, or maybe here in this area? So we would like to know. That is based on X and Y. So we create variables, because we don't only have one Tom, we have 3 Toms. We have 3 characters, Tom and maybe Jerry and maybe a woman. So we have 3 characters here, Tom, Jerry, and a woman, that we want to share or print or show on a screen. So is that confusing?
No, it's not confusing.
So if I want to have or save 2 variables that say what is the position for the first character, X and Y, and what is the position for the second character, character 2, here character 3, and this is a woman, and this is Jerry, and this is character 1, and here this is 1, and we say this is Tom. So for every character, I would like to create center X and center Y. And I want to, because I cannot use the same name, am I able to use center X and center Y for all of them? Like that? Can I do like that? Can I use center X, center Y? That Java will start to complain. He said that it is duplicate. It means that you are redefining a variable that you already defined before. I mean, does this make sense?
Yeah.
So I cannot use the same variable name for the 3 characters. It doesn't make any sense. I have to make them different. So for character 1, I say it's x1 and y1. For character 2, I say it's x2 and y2. And for character 3, I say it's x3 and y4 and y3. And if I create another character, which is character 4, I have to use x4 and x and y4 just to differentiate the names between different characters. Is that confusing, or I mean, what do you think? Is that, am I able
No,
to
I actually understand. So yeah, so which means that when we declare each different characters, we want to put it in like different position, right?
excellent, excellent,
Inside the
yes,
screen.
yes, yes,
So that means like for instance that I want to put a one table one to the left and table two to the right and table three to the center. So that means I have to making sure that I have the exact position and define each character very well like that. Am I
yes,
correct?
excellent, excellent, yes. So okay, what if we want to talk about students? You are creating a student platform. Am I right? What is the purpose of your platform? Just to for me to understand that you are building
And
for your project.
the purpose of this platform is that uh, the teachers and the students and the parents can be able to track the progress of each students.
Okay, so
So
we need a name and we need the marks. Maybe we need maybe a mark percentage, or just tell me two things that we can
uh,
save about a student, a single student.
single student maybe their percent their percentage
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
what can they do to improve that, something like that.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. So okay, this is now I'm defining something for a student. So I would say student mark, but no percentage. Let me say it mark just for easier, and you consider the percentage that you want to put. And typically we are not able to put percentage, so I would put 90. So a percentage sometimes come in decimal point, am I right? So I would like to put a double instead of string, am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, I put here maybe 90.6 just to make it logic. And then I would actually, this is one student. So let me create another 2 students. So, okay, now you have a choice. So you can say here, student 1 and student 1 name, student 1 mark, and then student here 2 name, and again here 2 mark, and then here we put 88, here we put 70. Okay, here we put Dave, here we put Lee. Okay, so here, can I put it 1? Can I put the third student as student 1 name, or I have to use a different naming?
No, it's fine.
It's fine? You
Yeah,
sure? Okay, but see here, he doesn't accept the name. He say what?
yeah,
Why he
student
doesn't?
because duplicate between student one name.
Okay, so I need to put a different name. Am I right? So can you imagine now that I'm creating 100 students? So I will try to add 2 more students like that. So in total now I'm having 5 students. So I put Lee, no, not Lee, Kong, and um, Asma. Yeah, we can do it like that. Also can. So okay, this is 50. This is 73, for example. So okay, he is complaining that I need to change the name because this is duplicate, so he does not accept. So I need to change it to 4. So here I need to change it to 5 so that he doesn't complain also. This is 5 students. How many variables you created for these students? Can you count, please?
5.
No, so this is 5 students, but how many variables we created so far?
2 variables.
So in total, how many variables?
So 10.
Okay, so if I now want to put, I would like to actually save a remark from the teacher about the student. So I'm creating a third variable, and I will create that third variable for all of them. So now, how many variables in total? If I add the student remark, I will have for 5 students.
15.
So okay, so and okay, I will keep adding. I can't use student 1 remark. I can't. I have to change it to 2, right?
Yeah.
So okay, and so okay, and also here I need to change it to 3 to mark that this is specific. This remark is for student number 3. So I also need to put it here. I also need to change the name to reflect that this is for student number 4, here for student number 5. Okay, so I created how many students? So if I created one more variable for each student, I am multiplying by 5. The number of variables keep increasing. Do you understand? So if I write, maybe if I write here, student 1, teacher. So I would like to keep the teacher name or the school teacher specifically responsible for that student. So maybe I just write it short, school teacher. So I will write here a name. Or say man. So this is, so again, if I add that fourth variable, how many in total these 5 students will have variables? Am I confusing you?
Can you repeat the question?
So are you confused from what I'm doing?
No, it's not confusing. It's just that you are trying to write the teachers for each student, right?
Yes, is it typically, normally in schools, specifically in large schools, so they group every maybe 9 to 10 students, and they say that there is maybe one school teacher that is responsible for them. Typically, it's a woman most of the time. So it is responsible for any issues that they face. And so we need to, maybe we also want to understand this student remark, who gave it to. So maybe the parents would like to know who is the teacher who gave these remarks, so that they are able to refer back to him if they want to know more information about their son, for example. So if I want to now, previously I have only 3 variables for each student, right? So
Yes.
here I write here student 1. Here this is student 2, and so on. Here is student 3. Am I right? And then if I take this one and then I start giving this for the other students, now how many variables in total that I will have for the 5 students?
Students 20 variables.
So 4 times 5, right?
Yeah.
So if I add a single more variable, I will add it means that I'm adding 5 more variables in total. So I will become 25. So you are moving, just now you was 15 variable. And then I increased only one, then in total become 20 variable. And then, so can you imagine? So it means that now just because you have 5 students and you have 4 variables, so you multiply that, you got 20. So now this is variables, V, and this is students. Am I right? So if I change this from 5 to 10, so I am my system or my platform handle information about 10 students. So the total will be not 20. It will be what?
40.
40 variable. 40 variable that you need to deal with. And this is not a huge number of students. This is only just 10 students. Okay. So what I want to tell you at the end, the result that the way we are doing it here is not the efficient way. This is not the correct way to expand our system to handle million of users or million of students. Your system, you go to sell it to the client, you tell him, okay, you can only buy it for 10 students. This is my maximum at the moment. I have no time to create more variables. Or yeah, you can say, like, for example, did you ever use booking.com, or even Shopee? Did you use Shopee?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you use Shopee, so how many sellers and how many products on Shopee? Millions? Can I say millions or even thousands? Can we say 1,000 products on Shopee or less? I think thousands.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean it is not less than 50,000. I believe not less than 50,000. It's huge amount of products there. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I say that for every product, it must have a picture, it must have a name, it must have a description, it must have a rating. Do you see that in Shopee for every product, right? So can you see that for every product we have, you need to store information about the product. So you need to create variables for each, for the name, for the price of the product. So you need to also create another variable for maybe the description of the product. Every product have a description, right? Am I right or no?
Yeah.
Am I confusing you by giving these examples?
No, it's not confusing. Yeah.
Okay. So what I want to tell you, if Shopee want to create 50, so if now let us see that it is only required to put a name, price, description, and maybe image, name. Just only 4 variables we need to create for every product. And if we say that Shopee have 50,000 products, so we need to create for 4 variables. We multiply them by the number of products. So that gives us what? Just tell me. What is the result of this kind of multiplication?
200,000.
Can you imagine that we need to create 200,000 variables? Is that logic?
No, it's not logic.
So it means that they must be using something different. It is impossible to maintain 200,000 variable easily without issues. There will be a lot of issues, a lot of mistakes. So we need a smart way. So the smart way is that we make the computer handle the difficulty of creating variable names for us. So we don't want to care about variable names. We don't want to create variable names. We don't want. It's too much. We don't want to create for the product a lot of variable names. No, we don't want to say that when we have 50,000 product, we need to key in every different names. We don't want that, because that will be too much for us as a human to deal with. Okay, we want the help of the computer. So again, object-oriented concept help you in this specific problem, help you to actually replicate the reality in a coding manner. So you want to represent a product, you represent it as a class, because this is not a single variable. A product cannot be represented using one variable. You need a huge amount of variables. I only created 4 here, but in reality, there is rating, and we also need to create not only rating, and we need to also create, sometimes we store images from the customer, right? For that, when they buy the product, they take an image and they share it with others, right? And we need to create a variable to store the number of items sold from that product. Am I right? Did you notice that?
Yeah, I know this.
Okay, so we don't want to, I mean, that is huge amount of variables that we need to create. Now I just added 2 or 3, and that makes 6, the total variable 6. So if I multiply 6 by 50, that is 1,000 variable more. So we are talking about 300,000 variable. That is too much to deal with. So I want to ask the help of the computer to actually help me in this. So how we do that? So actually, just to be frank, this is the first time ever I explain the classes in this way. So I have to say that I'm honored that you make me come up with this way to simplify the the classes. So if you understand it, this means I was successful in this new way. So I should offer you thanks for that. Okay. Was I successful in making it clear to you so far?
Yeah.
Okay, so
You
have a
make it
look.
clear.
Okay, so this is the characters that we want to say that we want to show on the screen, and this is what we say center X and center Y. Okay, and this is the real screen, and this is the origin. Typically, the upper left side is the origin of the screen that you see in front of your eyes. So, but again, this is a detail that we don't want to deal with at the moment. We care only about 2 things: that every character have 2 variables at the moment, just for simplification. It have center X and center Y. Okay, now I want you to, this spread actually is representing a character in a game. Okay, so we are building a class. Did you hear about classes before first?
Yeah, I hear about that.
Okay, what did you understand before about classes?
What I understand is that class is uh, yeah. And so class is like something that we put inside in our program to make sure that we can call when we can just call out without calling inside the main program. I understand like that.
Okay, Did you finish writing the code?
Not yet.
Do you know where you need to actually write that code? This is the curly braces of the main end. So the main ends here.
So outside the main, right?
Yes. So this is the main. This is the main, and this is the last curly braces of the main here. So may I know which line exactly that you are writing at the moment?
I have to uh fix a few lines, but
Any difficulty?
no, not yet.
I would say at the moment you just need to make that you actually write until here. So from here until from line 63 until line 74. The rest we can do with that on the next class.
Okay, sure. Finishing up.
So it means that you need to add another curly braces here. So this is one, this is the second curly brace just to close the opening here. This is open for class. This is close for class.
Oh, did I say something wrong about the classes before?
Uh, Not really. Why are you asking like that? Because I follow that strange way to explain it to you. This what you mean?
No, because you were quiet after I explained it, so
No.
I
No.
assume.
No. You didn't say anything wrong, but no,
Oh,
you
okay.
didn't say anything wrong.
Yeah, I think I'm done.
Okay. So I would like you to write actually these two lines here, 53 and 54. This is inside the domain. And you can start sharing your screen. If you write these 2 lines, you can start sharing your screen.
Can you see it?
Sorry, you have done already?
Yeah, I've done.
Okay, that is excellent. Okay, can you run, please? Okay, an error. Excellent. So where is the error coming from? Which line here? Can you see? Does it mark to us which line?
No,
I
it does.
Okay, the system cannot find file specified. Where is the file specified? Okay, wait, go down. Make sure that your closing brackets is correct, please, because that is okay. So this is
Here. Yeah, this is for here. So it's here.
and this is for this. Okay, why it says
Maybe or something.
may you please don't use class, just use maybe TLSS,
Okay, sure.
just yeah, just as a precaution. And again, we still don't see where is the issue. I mean, no, don't use it. No, CLSS. I don't want it, the word class itself is reserved keyword for yep for Java. I don't want you to use that. Yalla. So try to run, please. Yeah, rename the file. Yes, the file name rename. Yes. Okay, can you try to run? We see. Okay, can you go here? Move here. I would like to read more. Create the Java. Where is it can't see. Okay, I understand. He can't see the. Okay. I would say
Yeah, maybe I have to create a new file.
no. I believe no. But wait. So just can you try to put this code? So here, I think he is trying to read that spread, but he cannot find it. So yes, put it up here. Maybe different interpreter, different. Yeah, and remove it from here. Okay. Now try to run and see if he still brings error. Still, Then I would advise then put it in a separate file. Put this in a separate file. It seems that no. Wait until here, and only the class. So he is telling you here the error is that he cannot find the spread.java. He cannot find it. So you need to create a file with this exact name here, and you put your class inside it. You make it capital. Yes. Okay. And you put your code inside that you copied. Show me up. You remove that line and that. Yes. And remove that also here. Yes, the curly braces. Okay. Now try to run, please. Run the main code after you remove the. You have to remove this. So it runs, okay, it runs, but I just want you to remove this. Okay. And then I would say enough for today. We continue classes next class. We continue talking about that. So at the moment, okay, we managed to run. The thing that I want to tell you that a class that you created, this is for a character. So this represents a character, and there is a lot of variables inside it. At the moment, we only put center X and center Y, but we are able to increase more variable. We are able to store information about the character name, maybe the character have an image. We are able to store the name of the image. A lot of things we are able to do. Just what I want to say that a class is a complex data type that carry a lot of simple data types inside it. Okay. At the moment, this sprite is we created our own. We are able to change the name sprite to any other thing that of our own choice. This is given to us as a choice. So you change the class sprite to any other name, and then you can come and create the name here like with the name of your choice. So far, is it clear or I'm confusing you?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, so I think we stop here like that. See you next class.
All right.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.